My baby deserves your wedding ring. The wedding was only 2 months away, and my fiancé and I were in the throes of last-minute prep. Think venue finalizations, caterer tastings, and multiple head-count arguments over whether Aunt Mabel and her 4th boyfriend really needed to be there. So, imagine my shock when the biggest headache wasn't the seating chart, but my cousin Tiffany, who insisted that her toddler needed my engagement ring. Yeah, you heard that right. Let me back up a bit. Tiffany and I had never been close, and even distant feels like a stretch. She's one of those people who loves to remind everyone how generous and family-oriented she is, though it's always at everyone else's expense. The last time I saw her, she was furious that someone didn't send a wedding gift for her 3rd marriage. According to her, it was the principle of family support, not the toaster she actually wanted. But hey, every family has one, right? Anyway, the request, or more accurately, demand, came on a sunny Saturday afternoon. My fiancée, Sarah, and I were hosting a small get-together with close friends and family to celebrate the engagement. Everything was perfect. The smell of barbecue wafted through the air, and people were laughing, congratulating us, and for once, everything seemed chill. Enter Tiffany, late as usual, and already carrying her 2-year-old son, Caden, as if he was a royal heir to the universe itself. Caden, mind you, is a cute kid, but Tiffany seems convinced he's some sort of child prodigy. She kept going on about his amazing finger painting skills, which I'm pretty sure were indistinguishable from the average smear of jam on a piece of paper. But I digress. After her dramatic entrance, she zeroes in on me, practically swatting my poor Uncle Ray out of the way. "Oh my gosh, Logan," she exclaims, her voice pitched higher than usual. "Your engagement ring is stunning." She drags out the last word, eyes sparkling in a way that felt less complimentary and more calculating. "Red flag number 1. Thanks, Tiffany. I appreciate that," I replied, half smiling, wondering where this was going. Tiffany leaned in, and I noticed she hadn't put Caden down, which felt odd for someone who usually lets him run free at these things, encouraging independence, read, ignoring his tendency to knock over everything in sight. She batted her eyelashes, and I could see it coming like a slow-motion train wreck. "Caden here," she began, patting his back as if he'd won a Nobel Prize, "deserves to have something that represents the love and unity of our family. You know, an heirloom." I blinked, already feeling the headache brewing. Sure, heirlooms are great. Mom has some amazing ones I'm sure she'd love to show you." Tiffany tilted her head, unfazed. No, not some old necklace from the 90s. "I was actually thinking your engagement ring would be just perfect." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Wait, you're serious? This ring is mine. My fiancé's. I proposed with it." "Yes, exactly. And Caden is the future of our family," she beamed, as if this was the most logical thing in the world. "I think it'd be beautiful if he could have it to pass down someday. Imagine how meaningful it would be, Logan." I shot a look at Sarah, who was holding back laughter, eyes wide in disbelief. "Tiffany, no offense, but you know I'm not just going to hand over my engagement ring. This is a symbol of my relationship with Sarah. It's not really up for grabs." She scoffed, like I'd just insulted her entire bloodline. "Logan, this is about family tradition. And since you're not having kids anytime soon," cue the pointed look at Sarah, "I just thought it made sense." Sarah chuckled, finally jumping in. "Tiffany, if that's your line of reasoning, we could just as easily give it to Logan's pet hamster. He's technically family too." Tiffany looked horrified. "You can't be serious. That's an animal, Sarah. Caden is a human child." "Funny," Sarah muttered, shooting me a glance. "Sometimes I wonder about that." Now, any sane person would have read the room and backed off, but Tiffany doubled down, her voice taking on that shrill, nails-on-a-chalkboard quality. "Logan, it's not like you even paid for it. Grandma's inheritance covered it, right? And I'm family. It's not like you'd be giving it to a stranger." I clenched my jaw, feeling the urge to say something I'd regret. Look, I appreciate that you want something meaningful for Caden, but this ring isn't up for negotiation. And even if it were, I think it would be my decision, not yours. She glared at me, clearly offended that I'd had the audacity to value my own engagement ring over her vision for her son. Fine, I see how it is. But just know, Logan, that true family doesn't keep things from each other. I hope you remember that someday when you need something. With that, she stormed off, Caden in tow, mumbling about how selfish we were. Sarah and I looked at each other, half expecting her to come back with a PowerPoint presentation on why we were obligated to hand over the ring. The rest of the party was thankfully uneventful, but I thought that was the end of it. But, oh, was I wrong. A week later, I get a text from Tiffany. Hey, Logan, I found a jeweler who can resize the ring for Caden. You can drop it off at my place this weekend. Thanks for being so understanding. I was floored. She was so delusional, she actually thought I'd had a change of heart. Rather than blowing up, I decided to have some fun with this. Hey, Tiffany. Actually, I've been rethinking it and decided that since the ring has sentimental value, maybe we should keep it in the family, but just not with you. She responded within seconds. Excuse me? Caden is your blood relative, Logan. Don't you care about family? I took a deep breath, trying not to laugh out loud as I typed. Of course I care about family, Tiffany, which is why I think it's important to keep it close. Sarah's hamster has been asking about family heirlooms, and we think the ring would make a great addition to his cage. Symbolizes love, loyalty, and snack storage. Tiffany was livid. She texted me back with a flurry of angry messages, calling me selfish, heartless, and accusing me of ruining poor Caden's future. She even tried rallying other family members, but most of them just laughed it off, knowing Tiffany's ridiculous behavior all too well. Finally, she got desperate. A few days later, she showed up unannounced at my door. Caden balanced on one hip, and an expression that screamed entitlement. I answered, plastering on my best customer service smile. Logan, she said with a forced smile, I think we got off on the wrong foot. I know you didn't mean what you said. Family heirlooms are meant for the next generation, not pets. So, if you could just hand over the ring, we'll call it even. I sighed, glancing down at her hopeful grin, and then back at Caden, who was busy drooling on his shirt. Tiffany, I appreciate your persistence, but I'm not giving you my engagement ring. Maybe someday, Caden can start his own traditions. Tiffany fumed, spinning on her heel, muttering about how she couldn't believe the greed. She stomped off, Caden still drooling, likely traumatized by the entire ordeal. As she disappeared down the sidewalk, Sarah sidled up to me, holding back laughter. So, did we learn a valuable lesson about family today? I grinned, wrapping my arm around her. Yup. And that lesson is, some heirlooms are best kept out of toddler hands and far, far away from Tiffany.